Smite Talk is proudly sponsored by Tweaked Audio. Go to tweakedaudio.com for high-performance, noise-reducing earbuds. Use the code OctanePro to get 33% off plus free shipping anywhere in the world. Check out tweakedaudio.com today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of Smite Talk. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 7 of Smite Talk. I am your host, OctanePro, and joining me today is a special guest. How's it going, Katixxia?
Hi, how are you?
I am good. Those of you guys checking this out, Katixxia is a streamer, YouTuber, and content creator, and she's joining me today. Each week we're going to have a special guest on that's going to go ahead and join us. Kind of give their insight, give their opinion on some of the topics that we're talking about for the day. They'll help to go ahead and answer some of the questions that some of our viewers are asking. First off, I want to point out to you guys that this podcast is also offered on iTunes. So if you want to check it out, it is now offered on iTunes, as you can see in the middle of the overlay here. If you go on iTunes, look for Smite Talk, and you can find the entire audio version available on there. So please go ahead and check it out. It is available on all the stores worldwide, so please make sure you do enjoy it. We have a lot of people that check out the show when they're going to work or when they're at the gym or during their morning commute, so make sure you guys do check that out. Those of you guys checking out Smite Talk for the first time, Smite Talk is about a 45-minute to an hour show that we have a few different preset topics that we talk about, and then we allow you guys to call in throughout the entire show and ask questions, make comments on those topics, or bring up your own topics or questions for myself or Katixxia. If you guys do want to join the conversation, the information is directly up on stream right now. You could go ahead and join us. We're using Raid Call, and the Raid Call ID is 746-1039. Once again, it is 746-1039. And I guess for Katixxia, throw it out to you first, just kind of people that aren't familiar with you, just give a brief overview of kind of what you do in the Smite community and who you are.
Well, I have been playing Smite for longer than probably 99.9% of all of you.
Okay, you're calling people out now. You're calling people out.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, I've been playing since Alpha. I'm still really bad, so that hasn't helped me at all, but it's a thing. I've been streaming for a year. Just this past week was like my 1-year anniversary of streaming.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, I'm working on getting, like, I primarily will play Smite, but lately I've been playing some other games as well, branching out, but I am working on getting back into Smite as well. I still play Smite, just, with school it's harder to, sit down and play like a few games of Smite because they last a while than it is for other games, but with all the work I have. But I do really enjoy it still and plan on playing it more, especially with Thanksgiving break coming up.
I completely understand. I find myself, I am playing a little bit more of that game that we will not name outside of Smite. We won't name it. Hearthstone. Yeah, I understand where it comes down to having time to play. Just between doing some of the podcast I do and some of the casting of the 3vs3 tournament on Wednesdays, I try to fill in between with some gameplay, and sometimes it becomes hard, just kind of mixing that in with real life, so I do completely understand that. So guys, we have a raid call ID up on screen, bottom left-hand corner, 746-1039. Go ahead and join in, and I will move you to the on-deck status when you're going to be coming on the live show next. And then from there, I'll move you directly in to the live show, and you can ask any question you want, talk about anything you guys want regarding Smite, but we do have some preset topics. And I'll go ahead and go over our first topic I'll go through all 4 of them, and then we'll go jump into the first one. So the first one we have is Smite release date hype, which was announced yesterday, I guess, during Hi-Rez's spoils that he does do each week. We also have the Smite $100,000 tournament as well. Kind of talk about that a little bit. We have the upcoming God Wu, or was it Nuwa, I guess is the proper pronunciation. This is upcoming God, and we're just kind of going to theory craft a little bit about him, her or him. I'm not really sure. I have to take a look. Got Got to check out Wikipedia.
Googling it.
I know. Check out Google, Wikipedia, NU-WA, N-U space W-A. And then finally, I'm looking for some of your holiday skin ideas, guys. We're coming up on Thanksgiving, if you're in the U.S., and then on to Christmas.
I got great ones.
and I'm looking for your ideas. I like to do this about like once a year, just kind of throw it out to the community and be like, what are your ideas for great skins? Maybe some of these will be picked up by Hi-Rez devs, and we can kind of go from there. So first off, we'll talk about the Smite release date. It's been kind of a big chatter. A lot of us are really excited who have been around for quite a while now. And I don't have an exact date. I don't work for Hi-Rez. We're just kind of going over the idea. So Hi-Rez Erez on the 23rd, he put in chat, release date will be announced soon. And then he says following that, I think the dates will be announced next week. So soon could be next week. I guess I'll throw it over to you, Katixxia. You've been around for a while now within Smite. Do you feel the game's ready, or do you think or do you have an idea or something that you'd like to see them focus on before we can get it out the door?
I think a lot of people want them to just kind of slap that label just on it already, regardless of whether or not all the bugs are, worked out or anything like that. So I think that people will never be happy, but people will be happy once they announce that it's like an official date or whatever.
Yeah.
But I do think, like, of course, there's always going to be bugs and kinks to kind of work out, and balance issues. But overall, I still think it's a solid game, and it's been a long time, and I think that a lot of people are going to be very happy that they finally smacked the full release label on it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing Smite probably not as long as you. A decent amount. I think well over a year now at least. But you had mentioned alpha, and I was definitely in it.
That's like 2 years, 3.
Yeah, I was in it. I was in it during closed beta is when I came into Smite. I wasn't in it during alpha, and to me, as I played Smite for quite some time, I've been very happy with the progression of Smite. I've never seen a game where the amount, even in beta, the amount of content and changes they make week in and week out has been astronomical. And they've thrown, it's definitely one of those games where, like, at first I would have been like, when I saw the game, I was like, man, they can release this with Conquest just set up. Like, this game's great. But then all of a sudden we get bombarded with all these features and all these changes and stuff like that, which are great. But I never would have expected having all of that content in beta, and I think Hi-Rez has done a really good job with that so far. And personally, I think they could have released the game like 6 months ago, and I would have been happy.
Oh, yeah.
I would have not been standing around with pitchforks being like, no, it's not ready. How dare you put it out? So
they definitely, I think they could have. But I'm also glad that what they have done and that they have waited and the changes that they've made, because every time, like, I'm like, okay, it's really close, maybe they'll do it soon. They add so many awesome changes, and whether it be like the new map layouts and the new map art, or the the in-game UI changes and all of that. So I'm really glad that they've done that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, let's go ahead and hear from a viewer here. Keep in mind, guys, they can talk about this topic directly or bring up a new topic, completely okay. We'll go ahead and bring in a viewer. We're going to go ahead and bring in Louis Hamper. Hey, Louis, how's it going? Welcome to
Hi, Louis.
Smite Talk.
Hey, nice to. Sorry, I had the stream up and I heard you guys twice. Well, I had an idea I'd like to ask a question about the server lag this week. There was like immense server lag this week or last week, and I was just lagging out of my mind, and like everybody in the game was lagging. Did that get fixed?
Sure. My understanding it was, from what I heard. Did you hear differently, Katixxia?
No, I just think that I don't know. I mean, people lag all the time, so whenever somebody's like, yeah, there's a lot of server lag. Although I think I did hear that, like, the other day servers were being wonky or something like that, and but it sounds like maybe they were fixed. I don't know.
Yeah, my understanding was it was addressed. I don't know the full details as to what the problem was, but my understanding was it was addressed, and that the problem was corrected. Are you still having issues, or have you been good now, or you just haven't played?
I haven't played for a while, so I've been pretty busy this week. But I actually have two ideas for 2 skins that seem pretty cool.
Go for it. I know you have to call back when we talk about it. You can't bring it up now.
I can't? Okay.
I'm kidding. Please go ahead. You have ideas for holiday skins. Let's hear them.
Well, I've got one for Fenrir. I think you should make him into a polar bear. Just a polar bear.
That'd be so cute.
How about with a little Santa hat?
Man.
Little Santa hat on too.
Yes, Santa. You should make him like. You should make them like the Coca-Cola polar bear.
That'd be good.
And for my other skin is kind of more like a kind of like ironic one, but make Ra like be it's like snowy instead of like cold instead of like the sun. I don't know. I don't know how you can make him into that though.
More of like all you gotta do is winterize them. That's all. You're good to go. You winterize the sun and you bring out the winter.
Dog.
That would be pretty cool though. That'd be pretty cool. I like it. That's definitely a good idea. Any other things you want to talk about today, or any other questions you have for today?
Well, I think I kind of agree with chat. I think you should change, if you make that skin, make sure it's called Polar Doge. Don't even like not.
Oh boy.
But yeah, that's about it. So it was nice talking to you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming on. Do appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Just real quick on the subject of holiday skins.
Yeah, go for it.
I was just talking to Akela, I think this morning.
Okay.
I texted her because I was talking with a friend of mine, and I was like, I really want them to draw a Isis as a turkey, and then my friend was like, they should also do Ra as a turkey, for, like a skin, or at least draw them as them, like as like just fan art kind of thing. I want turkey Ra and turkey Isis.
That would be kind of cool to see turkey Ra. I can see that completely. I mean, I don't think they've done like any like Thanksgiving focused skins at all. I think it's just been like Christmas, but I still think that would be kind of cool to see, even if it's just like an art mock-up. And you seem to be the queen of art right now with like all the stuff you've been posting.
Yep.
So
I always love fan art, so I like to post as much as I can.
Sure, definitely.
Let's not online because I'm bad, but
I could draw, but it'd be a bunch of stick figures, and nobody would like it. Let me go ahead and bring on another viewer here. Looks like, hey Dave, how's it going? Welcome to Smite Talk. Mr. Dave, can you hear us, Mr. Dave?
Hello, Dave.
I know. I might have caught him off guard. He's like, oh crap. All right, we'll go ahead and bring someone else in. And Dude, how's it going? Welcome to Smite Talk. Are you there? Ah, people!
I saw Dave's mic moving, and then it wasn't there, but now Dude's mic's not moving.
I see that. That's okay. We'll bring in some. We got plenty.
Let me try Dave again. Dave, come back!
Okay, we'll bring. Yeah,
let's try Dave again.
Dave, you there?
Dave, you working?
You working for us?
Did you get your mic?
Hello.
Hey,
Dave!
How's it going, man? Welcome to Smite Talk. I could draw, but it'd be a bunch of stick figures. Oh, I hear myself in the background. Mute my mic.
Oh, good.
Good.
There you go. Mute the stream. Perfect. Thank you, sir. So welcome to Smite Talk. What do you want to talk about today? Oh, Dave, you still with us? Did we lose you?
Dave, baby, come back.
I need to cue that music. All right, Dave, we'll get your stuff figured out. We'll bring you back in. Let's go ahead and bring someone else on here. Let's see. What do we have here? Bibiana? Bibana?
Hi.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Smite Talk.
Hi, how are you?
So what do you want to talk about today?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. What do you want to talk about today, sir?
Viviana, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
What would you...
Nice.
So what question do you have today? Oh.
How about playing Smite, being a beginner?
Okay, let's go ahead and bring someone else on. Having some issues there. All right. LOL me 24. Are you there, sir? Or ma'am? Let's see if they are there. In the meantime, while we wait for them, let's actually go ahead and talk about our second subject. We have Smite $100,000 tournament hype, and this was brought on actually by Hi-Rez as well. On the
this was talked about forever ago, and then it was kind of forgotten about, and now I'm excited for this.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of like came out with it and was like a brief little spoil in regards to like, hey, there's gonna be a $100,000 tournament, but we're not telling you when, nor are we giving you any details. And Hi-Rez went ahead and posted this yesterday on the 23rd again, and went ahead and posted and said 100K tournament date will be announced soon. I think the dates are announced next week. So that's pretty exciting. A lot of people have been wondering, hey, is it going to be North American? Is it going to be overseas? How are the invites going to work? I can't tell you any of that because I don't work for Hi-Rez. But I will throw this over to Katixxia. If you could go ahead and just kind of put together this $100,000 tournament location, what it would be like, stuff like that. What are you thinking right now?
It's probably going to be on the moon. It's probably going to be on the moon, and it'll be great. Everyone's going to join up on the moon, and they will have this $100,000 tournament. I don't know. I hope that I'm excited to see where and when they decide to do it. If they do it, whether it's like online or like a location. I think a location would be cool. And that would probably make more sense for a tournament of this caliber. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts are definitely a local tournament. My thoughts are hopefully maybe in Atlanta, just to make it easily accessible for Hi-Rez and their staff and everything there. And I'd love to see like the top 4 teams on each side be brought in from the North American and EU scene. I guess the only way to validate that would be off of maybe the weekly tournaments, that they could go ahead and bring them in off of that. I don't know how much the Chinese market would be involved with the 100K tournament, just because it hasn't been out. I mean, it came out October 31st. I assume the tournament will be within the next 6 months, I would hope. So give it a little bit of time over in China, but I don't know how much we would see out of that market necessarily. Maybe not. I don't know. Do you think that they should do like a qualifier, or do you think it should be rewarded via the weekly style?
Maybe something with like since they already have those weekly tournaments in place, like going based off of those. For something like that, like I kind of, as much as it might be cool to have like some sort of like an invitational thing where they pick like certain people to play. I think it would be better as far as like the competitive community to either do it based off of the weekly tournaments and picking the top however many teams from each EU and NA if they can. Like that would be really cool to see, and have them come out whether they have to provide their own transportation or not. That's up to them. But it would be cool to see them at least transport teams from around the world and have them all compete, even if they have to pay for like their housing or something like that. Because I mean, as somebody who's been who's traveled recently, it's not so cheap to do that.
No,
but I think it would be really cool to see everybody gather in one place.
I don't know how many teams could afford, like a lot of the teams that are out there don't have like huge sponsors where that type of airfare, stay, food, and all that can be handled. I mean, there's some teams out there, but not all. I would think probably maybe like 8 teams, but not necessarily sure. It does fluctuate definitely. Let's go ahead and bring in Zeta. Zeta, how's it going? Welcome to Smite Talk.
Welcome, Zeta.
Right now.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, it's going good. Welcome to Smite Talk. So, what do you want to talk about today?
Well, I actually just logged on here. I don't know if it's been talked about yet, but I know the main focus of Smite usually in the tournament scene and everything is usually the conquest mode. I want to know if there's been any talk of like tournament arenas or ranked arenas.
I know for a fact that there have been a few community tournaments based around arena, but they've never really like taken off to be like a week in and week out type of thing. Now these weren't necessarily run by Hi-Rez; they were run by community events. But either way, I mean, I think arena definitely does have its niche. I don't know. Do you think arena deserves a little bit more than what it has right now? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. It's definitely my favorite game style. I just like the fast-pacedness of it, and there's always team fights going on, and you just really got to watch your back all the time. And I really think that it tests you a lot more than Conquest does, and I'm probably going to get slammed for saying that, but...
Yep.
No, you can have your opinion. I appreciate your opinion.
But so, Katixxia, what are your thoughts on Katixxia, what are your thoughts on arena? I mean, I could definitely see ranked as an option. What are your thoughts?
I think it'd be cool to see. more arena tournaments and stuff like that. Maybe not necessarily run by Hi-Rez specifically, because the focus does seem to be on Conquest, and like the game, it seems to be more balanced around Conquest.
Yeah.
However, I think it would still be like it's something fun, and it's I think it's important to also pay attention to the not as hardcore competitive players. As like they should pay attention to everybody as much as they can, and I think that having like arena tournaments and stuff can also help kind of bridge that gap a little bit as well.
Sure. So what else you want to talk about, sir? What else you got?
That was my big thing right there. I just wanted to see where everybody else was standing on that, because I feel like the whole MOBA scene is all about this 3 lanes, push towers, everything.
Sure.
And one of the things that drew me to Smite over other MOBAs that I won't mention, but was the arena mode, because that was actually the first one that I played after I downloaded the game, and I was like, okay, this game is like the best thing I've ever played. So
yeah, I mean, if we see more and more community tournaments, I can see bringing that up. I think it's kind of rough right now. I mean, I don't work for Hi-Rez, nor do I know any financial state, but with the fact, Hi-Rez shouldn't have to be hosting all these tournaments for their own game. The community should be stepping up and doing it. And there's definitely some organizations out there that have been, slowly working towards that with Conquest, 3vs3s. But I could definitely say I'd like to see some love for the arena side. I think that would be super effective. So I gotta ask you last thing here. What any holiday skin ideas that you have?
oh gosh, let's see. Give me just a sec on that one.
Gobble gobble raw, gobble
That's
gobble
right.
ISIS.
Oh, I can see that with ISIS too. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like for example, Zenny, or the artist, she always kind of jokes around with ISIS being like a goose and stuff in her comics and such. So
I don't know, maybe like Santa Claus Odin, or like
ooh, I like that.
Sexy elf Aphrodite.
Yes.
Well, there is already
or
a
Mrs.
sexy.
Claus.
There is a sexy nurse, so I can see that. I like where your head's at.
I like sexy Mrs. Claus too for Aphrodite.
That'll
Oh, there
work.
you
But
she's not a petty elf.
though. Like, you can't make Aphrodite all old sexy.
Well, come on.
Sure you
now.
can.
Mrs. Claus can be young.
Add some wrinkles on there. It's okay.
If you say so, dude.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for calling in. Do appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you. All right, moving on from here. Another topic to kind of talk about today, and really interesting. We do see some mention this past week from Hi-Rez regarding a possible new god here. The upcoming god Nuwa, and I apologize if I'm butchering that name, but I can't really see how many other ways you would say that. A possible up-and-coming god Nuwa. There is some mention about the snake god. He says the snake god has missed, and then he says Nuwa. Pretty interesting statement there. And those of you guys not sure, just reading directly off of Wikipedia, not off of any super credited source. It says here, Nuwa is a goddess of the ancient Chinese mythology, best known for creating mankind and repairing the wall of heaven. Just a quick little synopsis there. So I'll kind of throw it over to you, Katixxia. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's what I was reading.
What are your thoughts necessarily? Any ideas for this type of god? We kind of just read a quick synopsis of who they are. Anything specifically that you could see would be kind of cool to have on this god for an ultimate or a kit?
I'm just trying to kind of wrap my head around the idea of her being a snake god and being a creation kind of thing. Because snake, even I believe, even in like Chinese mythology and such, is usually more of like a trickster kind of sly creature rather than a creator deity. So that's what I'm trying to wrap my head around.
Well, it looks like I see reading down here. I guess it's 147 AD. They say Chinese earliest dictionary under the entry of Nuwa describes her as being both the sister of and the wife of Fu Chai. I'm sorry, I'm butchering this. Nuwa was pictured as having a snake-like tails interlocking in an Eastern Han Dynasty mural. So I think, so it looks like, it almost reminds me of something like a mermaid, but with a snake lower part of her body.
Yeah.
is kind of. I mean, that's kind of. Excuse me. Almost kind of reminds me of like a Medusa kind of look to her.
Yeah. Well, I hope. I mean, I think that's something like if even people coming in here, they might have a hard time if they know that she's a snake, like thinking more Medusa-esque. But it sounds to me that she doesn't have like the same kind of like mechanic kind of or ideas around her as far as like turning to stone.
Yeah.
But it says like I see here it says Snake God has mist or whatever. So I don't know. I'm wondering if that's like. It could be stealth, some people are thinking. It could be maybe like a healing mist if she's has repaired the heavens.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring in a viewer here. We have Penguin. Let's get his thoughts here. Hey, Penguin, welcome to Smite Talk. How's it going?
Oh. Yeah, what's up?
Hi.
Hey, so what do you want to talk about today?
Well, I was going to ask, have you ever heard anything about masteries for Smite being added in?
There was some early discussion about it. I remember it. I know a lot of people, kind of the thoughts.
A mastery system like the other game?
Yeah, like Riot has with their League of Legends or other games out there like Dota and style. We've seen a lot of these masteries, and I have not heard anything. I don't really speak directly for Hi-Rez. The only thing I don't like about the masteries is, and I'll just give you a quick little story here. I go to several local LAN parties. Thankfully, Pennsylvania has quite a few. And one of the games was League of Legends, and half the people played a ton of League of Legends and had amazing masteries, and the other people barely ever played it. Well, the people with masteries just walked all over us because of how, I guess you could say, buff they were when it comes down to those things. I don't see Hi-Rez, and now I'm saying once again, I don't work for them, I don't know anything. I don't see them adding this because it gives other people an upper hand compared to when you jump into the game. Everyone's on the same playing field. The gods are exactly the same. Nothing has changed from game 1 to game 2. But it sounds like that you're a fan of masteries. Is that correct?
Well, I just think having masteries would allow players to customize their game style to more like defensive or like support or like, you know what I mean?
That would almost, I mean, if you were to apply something like that without actually doing an entire mastery system and kind of having that upper hand, I could see something almost like the World of Warcraft's, like your skill tree, that you could kind of like, each god kind of has like 4 sub masteries, and you could go ahead and select the path that you want for that. So like, if I was on her, I could select, I don't know, a speed one over a power one overall or something like that. I could definitely say that. What do you think, Katixxia? You like it? Don't like it? What are your thoughts?
I am not really for a masteries kind of thing, unless they did it in a way where nobody would necessarily have an upper hand over another person. Like, I'm not really for the idea of, you unlock certain masteries as you level up in game, like, because that's just not fair. Some people like to play with their friends or their friends who have just started, and like, it's just not fair for lower level people who don't have the access to those like extra like stats and such or abilities or whatever. Like, it's not really fair to having them with people who are mixed in together.
Sure. I mean, a lot of there was a huge argument about it. Like, people, I think when people heard about like the mastery system, people were very concerned about it being a direct reflection of other MOBA games, and a lot of concern around it. I mean, I could definitely, it's good and bad. I think the reason I was attracted to Smite was because of the fact that I come from the StarCraft 2 background, and I liked when I went into a StarCraft 2 match, my opponent had no upper hand on me except for the amount of time and experience and game that he had put into the game. There was no like, oh, you play the game 1,000 hours versus my 100 hours, so you're already have an upper edge over me. So that's what attracted me to Smite. But it sounds like in your perspective, you'd rather see something like that in order to reward the players that play the game the most. Is that correct?
Well, I just think being able to customize your game style would be something nice to be added to the game.
Sure. I mean, I completely understand. You're looking for some independence. You're looking to stand out and be a little bit different. I mean, if it's not with like unique individual skins, maybe if it's with individual builds that you could do or something per god. I can understand that.
Exactly.
I mean, I can understand that.
Another thing for why I actually don't like masteries is because I feel like there's still always going to be that, like, if the masteries are a matter of like stats specifically, and not like you get extra like abilities and stuff like that. Generally, there's one build that everybody uses, or one build for each specific like role or that kind of thing, or like one build for that specific character. So it doesn't really make them different, and that's another thing why I'm not really for masteries specifically. If they added them and it made it interesting, great, and I'm open to the idea of them, but I wouldn't myself go after them, kind of thing, like try and like fight to have them added to the game or anything like that, personally.
Sure. So Penguin, I'll have to ask you. You've heard a little bit about Nuwa. Do you have any theory crafting ideas from what you've heard so far?
I have no clue.
Okay. And finally, I'll end it with you. Thoughts on any of the holiday skins? Any thoughts on what would be a good idea?
I actually thought long and hard about this one. I think Santa's little helper Cupid or something along the lines would be great.
That's a really good idea. That would be pretty easy. You know, the skin. You know, very quick little overhaul there. That'd be kind of cool. And she could go ahead and toss like gifts over top of you, so instead of heart bombs, they're little gifts, kind of sit over top of the head.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And then when the heart bomb goes off, boom.
Dude, I definitely think his alt with a bunch of presents would be pretty sweet.
Aha, there we go. Hi-Rez heard it first here. Well, that is a great idea, man. I appreciate you coming on.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yep, have a good one.
Thank you.
That was not a bad idea. That's probably one of the better ones yet tonight. With the Cupid little helper skin. That was pretty cool, though. That was a good idea.
I love that.
Going back to Nuwa, guys, we were kind of talking about this new god that we haven't really heard anything about, except for what Hi-Rez Erez had talked about briefly yesterday in regards to saying in chat, Snake God has missed Nuwa. And we were just kind of talking about Nuwa as a god that has, it looks like there's something here too. It says, let's see, this certain author describes Nuwa repairing the original imperfect heaven using 5 colored stones and cutting the legs off a tortoise to use as struts to hold up the sky.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know, right? So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like, this Nuwa seems to be very much, like, manipulating the environment around her, just from, like, what I'm reading, necessarily from Wikipedia, which, of course, you know is an amazing, credible source. Don't use this on your college papers, though.
Use it only on your college papers.
Your professors might be like, really? You quoted this directly out of Wikipedia. Yeah, so brief little ideas there. If any of you guys have any ideas on Nuwa or on the possibility of anything related to any skin, holiday skins that you have ideas, or even something like we were just talking about the release date, possibly coming up here soon. Same thing with the $100,000 tournament. We'd love to hear about it. What are your thoughts on the game releasing? Do you think it's there? Do you think it's not? What do you personally feel the game needs in order to advance? Or do you think we're there already and we're way past it? Any feelings on the $100,000 tournament? We were kind of talking about the $100,000 tournament on, I did a podcast previous to this on my own channel, Smite Update, and we were kind of talking about, are we going to see the $100,000 tournament start to spark some interest in sponsors a little bit more, and some of these big esports teams that right now aren't involved. I mean, it took quite a while to get Team Dignitas involved in the scene, and now that they are, they're heavily integrated with the scene and interweaved with the scene, but there's a lot of other big company organizations out there that haven't really mingled in directly into Smite yet. That you have teams like Team Liquid or Evil Geniuses over in North America. There's teams like Dusk as well. You can look at overseas teams as well. I'm trying to. I'm thinking of what are some other ones? There's also.
I want to see Curse make a comeback.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, like what happened with Curse?
Curse just kind of vanished. It was just kind of like there and then wasn't.
They were all about Smite. They were like, yay, Smite, all this stuff, and they're like, gone. Gone.
Yeah, it just vanished, and it was like, and at the time, everybody was freaking out about every little detail in esports, and there was like so much drama, but somehow that got through the cracks. I don't know,
right?
Which is something that people it made sense for people to get uppity about. And I was just like, okay, if nobody's gonna talk about the fact that Curse just kind of fizzled. All right.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm kind of like surprised about. Like, that's what I'm hoping to see. Like, the $100,000 tournament's announced, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, boom, tons of excitement. And I would love to see that. I would love to see more teams out there that start to become big. Like, there's a lot of teams out there that have a lot of money and can afford to pay like salaries actually. And I'd love to see them join the Smite community. I think that would be great. I'd love to see some sponsors come in and be like, hey, we like what you're doing. We'd like to go ahead and sponsor this team. There's a lot of like smaller teams with very small sponsors that don't necessarily, pay for maybe day-to-day operations, but don't pay for the whole shebang, salaries, stuff like that. And, I'd love to see some of these smaller teams getting a little extra money because I think the $100,000 tournament's a big deal. Now, recently I've been seeing, I guess, Dota 2 with MLG. They were kind of integrated, like, their tournament with, like, certain packages to help raise the prize pool. That would be kind of cool for Smite. Some type of integration, some package that we, as the viewers, can purchase that gives us some type of in-game item or something like that, but then also goes ahead and fuels the prize pool to raise the prize pool even more. I think that would be great. It'd be really cool to see. We do have another. Let's go ahead and bring in our next viewer here. How's it going, man? Welcome to Smite Talk. I'm trying to see how your name is spelled. NINFRK81. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce your name. And can you hear us? Are you there? I love that people join raid call, but then they haven't figured out how to use their microphone. So it's like,
yeah. Well, my microphone, like, sometimes I just have problems with raid call. Like,
really?
I get maybe since I switched my microphone and stuff, but I was using it fine, and then, like, if I don't use it for a while and I come back, sometimes it's just, like, nobody can hear me, and it's like, I don't know what I did wrong.
Sure, definitely, I can see that. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put it out to chat. In chat, what are your guys' thoughts on the holiday skin ideas? Does anyone have any really good ideas in chat that you're really interested in? What would be a really cool idea to do? We have Thanksgiving coming up here next week for those of us in North America, and then we also have Christmas coming up not soon after. Is there any specific holiday skins that you guys in chat would like to see or have any really good ideas? Snowman Ymir mentioned twice. Pretty good idea. I can see that. That would be kind of cool. There's the Thanksgiving turkey raw. Ooh, candy cane AO. Interesting. Not bad.
Santa Guan Yu. Loki as the Grinch. I think Grinch Guan Yu would be kind of cool, actually, rather than Santa Guan Yu.
I can see that.
Ooh, evil elf Loki. That sounds great too.
They could even do something small and like Chunga's little bunny, put like antler ears as well, like little stuff like that, or have like a little like present being carried along or something like that. They could do very little things, to go ahead and change that.
Yeah. Gingerbread Man Odin. Oh my God, Gingerbread Odin.
That would be kind of
awesome.
Cool. We don't have.
Here as a snowman.
Yeah, they don't really have any like snowmen. Like a lot of people have mentioned snowmen. That would definitely be a real easy idea to do, and be available too. So that would be cool. Chunga Mrs. Claus, I could see that. A Jack Frost. You could do like a Jack Frost Loki though too. I can see that. So a lot of good ideas from chat. I like that. Good calls there. We have some people we were talking about earlier with Nuwa, kind of mentioning, hey, we talked about having like a snake lower part of the body as a possibility. Is it going to be something like a what are they called from World of Warcraft? Naja? No, what is that called? What are they called?
Oh, the Naga?
The Naga, there we go. Almost have something like this Naga look to them. That would kind of be unique, kind of different, but they got to stay away from being like too close to AO though. I feel like AO would be pretty close, and a lot of people are saying like, oh, it's something close to like Medusa, and I could see that too, but I don't see that. Everything I read, even though it has the snake lower part of the body, nothing I read really talked about any of that mythology with like snakes on the head or freezing or having, anyone in stone or anything like that. I'm not seeing it there, so I'm really eager to see. I mean, I assume Hi-Rez goes into so much detail looking into some of these gods and, getting it right. I gotta wonder if there's like a full department. I mean, I forget. I know Hi-Rez Duke did something with the creatures, a video regarding the steps in order for a god to be developed, and Duke went through and had a great video with the creatures on it, kind of showing you the tour through Hi-Rez and kind of showing off how a creature's made. And I can't recall if they had a department that's really looking into new gods specifically, but I think it'd be
I'm
really
sure they
cool.
do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they did a Medusa style. Is that something you're looking to see? Do you like that idea, or do you think Medusa doesn't really fit?
I want Medusa to be her own thing. Actually, Steve Sketches and I did an event where it was a community to design a god thing, and our focus was Medusa for that one. We're planning on doing another, but we haven't actually sorted it out yet since I've been in school and such.
Sure. I mean, I think Medusa would be cool. Something very similar. I feel like they're doing. I mean, I understand they're doing a lot of Chinese gods. Somebody in chat had mentioned and been like, "Oh, what, another Chinese god?" And I could understand they're trying to really hype up the game a lot in China, where China has its very own unique market, unlike any other market out there. And they're trying to gain that traction because, I mean, man, if you can gain it in China and over that Chinese and Korean market, that kind of sets the pace there. I mean, they view video games and their culture completely different than definitely the North American and EU scene, and that would be really cool to have, actually. And so I see why, they're really pushing the Chinese mythology. I know we had quite a few reworks within the Chinese gods when Tencent was announced, and now we're going ahead and seeing another Chinese god coming out. But either way, pretty sweet to see something new and up and coming. Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up our show here for this week. Quick little show for Smite Talk. I do appreciate everybody that called in. I know we had a lot of theory crafting type of ideas going on, discussing the Smite release date, also discussing the $100,000 tournament, the upcoming god Nuwa, which there isn't really anything about yet. We're just kind of theory crafting. And then finally, some really great ideas within the holiday skin ideas there. You guys did pretty good. Katixxia, before we go ahead and go, where can people check your content? I know there's a lot of people in chat interested in kind of seeing you stream or seeing your content. Where can people find that?
They can find me on twitch.tv/Katixxia, which is spelled like right there or something like that.
Right off the
stream. And twitter.com/Katixxia. Facebook.com/Katixxia TV, because apparently Katixxia was taken. And it was weird. And what else? YouTube.com/Katixxia. And I can also type out my little thing for chat, but for podcast purposes,
No, that's fine.
That.
I appreciate it. Yeah, guys, keep in mind, make sure please go check out Katixxia, check out all of her content. It was very nice of her to take some time tonight to join us on the show. I want to let you guys.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. We'll definitely have you back.
I'd love to.
Yeah, I've been trying to organize the females of Smite. Smite roundtable discussion, looking at a handful of lovely ladies in the community that are kind of involved and trying to put something together, and Katixxia is one of them, so we're hoping to have more of her coming up here. I want to remind you guys that this show is on iTunes. Please go ahead and go to iTunes and type in Smite Talk, and you can find the audio-only version. And you can download it not only on iTunes, but if you're using an Android device, I use BeyondPod on my Android device, which is kind of like a podcast app. You can look it up on there, Smite Talk. And it's great for people on commutes or just want to have something to listen to at work related to Smite. So please go ahead and check it out. All I can do is ask for 5-star reviews. If available and you guys feel you like it, please go ahead and leave one. If you guys have any questions, comments, or feedback about the show, or you didn't get your question in or your idea in and you weren't able to call in, please go ahead and email it to smitetalk@gmail.com. You can also check out right on the live show, you can see here in the bottom corner. If you want to check out the video version of the show, check it out, youtube.com/TheSmiteUpdate. And you can see there's a few podcasts over there, some community interviews, a few roundtable discussions with other members of the community in Smite. And so please go ahead and check that out. Also, next week on Sunday at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern, right here on Smite Game, our next guest host will be Dry Bear, and he will be joining us to kind of give his opinion on some of the stuff going on within the Smite community, recent news regarding tournaments. I know he has a really big tournament coming up here, so would love to have him on as well to talk about that. Well, guys, I appreciate you guys coming out. Please stay tuned if you're checking this out on Smite Game. I will be doing viewer games for the rest of the night till about 10 p.m. With you guys, and so you guys can feel free to join me. So I will be back in about 5 minutes, guys, and we'll get some viewer games. So see you guys next time. Take care.
Oh, thank you very much.